day, learners. I am Anrosin May F. Halop, and it is a good thing to share to you about standard-based curriculum development model. It is no secret that schools everywhere set high standards for the students they represent. Where do these expectations come from and how are they developed? Now, let us explore the development and the implementation of a standards-based curriculum in this lesson. These will be our objectives. Examine the strengths and weaknesses. Second, analyze how these curriculum development models can be applied in the Philippine context. Let us know who is Alan Glathorn. Alan Glathorn developed standard-based curriculum development model. He also identified 3 phases to be followed in developing a standard-based curriculum. How many? Yes, 3 phases. And these 3 phases and the model that he developed is a linear model, which includes a prescribed sequence of curriculum development activities to develop standards. So this is the 3 phases that he developed. First phase is develop standards. In develop standards, it unders a comprehensive set of content standards using multiple sources. When we say multiple sources, is it like sources came from the society, the subject matters, and the learners. And it's refined the comprehensive list by eliminating and combining. And secure teacher input to identify teacher priorities and use data to develop final draft of standards divided into essential standards and enrichment standards. For the phase 2, develop benchmarks. When we say benchmarks, it is something that can be used as a way to judge the quality or level. The use of benchmarks is to improve, refine, and validate curriculum stand, which equally good practice in curriculum development. So here in phase 2, it's review decisions about content emphasis, identify standards for continuing development, and decide how benchmarks will be identified by task force or by teachers. The initial drafts of benchmarks evaluating with criteria provided and secure teacher review revise benchmarks if needed. So that's how develop benchmarks is going on. So for the phase 3, the develop final products, they use standards and benchmarks to produce the scope and sequence chart, and they decide on curriculum guide content, and they also analyze benchmarks into learning objectives. Now, let us discuss what is the strengths and weaknesses of this model. So first, the strength of this model is rational and descriptive. So when we say this rational, it is having the ability to reason or to think about things clearly. While descriptive, it is providing a rules or facts that tell people how it should be used. And the second one, it is using multiple sources in developing curriculum standards. Earlier, we discussed multiple sources in the phase 2. So now, in this strength, it is emphasized of using multiple sources, because it is important to have a clear understanding of curriculum development in order to emphasize the 3 sources, which is subject matter, learners, and society. And the third one, recognizes teachers' input in the development of standards. Why it should be to recognize teachers' input? Because teachers are aware of what materials are taught in previous years and what will be taught in years to come, because they are the teachers and they are exposed in everyday life of the learners. The next one is extend itself up to the development of scope and sequence. which is important for planning instructions and deciding on specific contents and objectives. The last one, it is relevance and applicability in any educational institution in developing curriculum standards for various courses, because it can be very useful in the development of curriculum standards. Now let's move on to the weaknesses. The first weakness is this model does not include situational analysis or needs analysis, because situational analysis is helpful in understanding the context in which the curriculum is developed. So analyzing it, it is very important to understand the context. Okay, and the second one, it's linear nature. Next is developing curriculum standards is a separate activity from the overall curriculum development process, which this makes the model incomplete. And the fourth one is it cannot replace the important functions of situational analysis. And the last one is the model should recognize that developing curriculum standards is an integral part of the curriculum development process. So now, let us discuss if these curriculum development models can be applied in the Philippine context. So I have 3 resources. According to Clint F. 2017, so we all know, for him, it is important to develop a standard-based curriculum for a school or district. Why? Why she said that? Because for him, doing so helped him because of the developed standard-based curriculum for a school or districts helps teams of teachers work together to make sure they are teaching to the standards and preparing students for the next year. It also helps administrators because it allows them to measure progress at all levels and over time. Second one, there is no single best curriculum design or instructional design that will fit to the Philippine education system. It is from Yuyuku 89 WordPress. Why she is telling that there is no single best curriculum design which is fitted to the Philippine education system? Because for him, ours can be compared into a kari-kari dish. Why do you think he compared our curriculum in a kari-kari dish? Because kari-kari is composed of different ingredients. And here in Philippines, we need also have the different curriculum models, or we need curriculum design or different curriculum design that perfectly mix together in a pan or in our society. So he used an analogy here that compare the kari-kari in different curriculum design and the pan which is in our society to satisfy the taste buds of every Filipino learners. So for him, we need a different curriculum models that will be fitted in the context here in Philippines that we can use as a curriculum. And the last one, in Kainat H 2007 January 10, that for him, therefore, as future curricularists, we must design a flexible curriculum that will cater the need of the present time, something that could be of use to everyone and will meet the aims, objectives, and goals of the Philippine education. So by this, I can say that this standard-based curriculum model will also be fitted here in our Philippine education in the context of Philippines. Because of the said evidence and because of the also of the statements of those peoples or those scholars and experts from this. So that's all. I hope that you learned something about this model, and thank you for listening. And remember to never stop learning because life never stops teachings.